Hi everyone, and welcome back to our playthrough of Pokemon Gold for the Game Boy Color. Where we last left off, we had just arrived in Ecruteak City. Now, Ecruteak is one of the more picturesque areas of Johto. Ecruteak has a model off of, or it is modeled off of, Kyoto, which is one of the more traditional Japanese, picturesque ancient Japanese areas in all of, really in all of Japan. So, there are a few things we want to do when we first start off. So, this gentleman here, gentleman, will give us the item finder. And the item finder is a pretty helpful tool. So the item finder will allow you to, find items. As this guy says, it'll help you find items that you can't see otherwise. Now, I sort of know where they are, but where some of the ones are that we want to hit, some of the ones we don't want to hit, etc. We already went to the Pokemon Center and saw Bill. So the next thing we want to do is go to the Ecruteak Dance Theater. So this is where the Kimono Girls are stationed. Now, the Kimono Girls take a little bit of a stronger appearance in the other Pokemon games, in the remakes. They also are easier to beat in this game. In the remakes, their Pokemon are like level 38. Here, they're level 17. Okay, Matt Jameson, you're gonna get your butt handed to you here. So let's go with our friend Patty Levin. It's tough to go against a booster, though, after how good Booster was for us last time. Booster was like your quintessential, six-hole hitter. You know, like, could be really, really good when needed to be, but there's a reason why you're not higher in the lineup. Like, that always was Booster last time. I mean, yeah, look at that attack. Alright, let's hope Patty can take it off. Oh, man. Alright, 2 crits. Wow. Well, that's why Booster continues to be Booster. Okay, and Matt finally gets his level up. So this is where the Kimono Girls apparently practice their dancing and training. Each one of them, as you'll see, uses a different evolution, or EV evolution. I've always hated the term evolution. I thought it was really silly, to be honest. And I'm someone who likes Eevee. Yeah, I really prefer Eevee, or I enjoy Eevee, but I just think evolution is a bit much. It does beg the question of my favorite evolution. That's tough. I mean, Booster right now is probably, I would say Flareon probably is my favorite of the original 3. Ooh, that's not good. Let's see if Tackle does more. But Espeon is really good. I've used Espeon before. I mean, Umbreon is the coolest looking one. Like, no one is going to deny that. But I don't know. I always liked Leafeon. Leafeon was so silly, to be honest. I just have a soft spot for Leafeon. Gen 4 is probably, I don't know if I would say it's my favorite generation. It might be my favorite generation. It's not the one maybe I have the softest spot for, I would say. but it might be my favorite, like most complete generation. Like when I think of Pokemon, I probably think of Gen 4. Oh, we're gonna have another item from Mom. Keeps using our money. It ain't gonna be the Snorlax doll, not at this point. Okay, let's rearrange some of this. And it looks like Matt Jameson is back leading off. Would have been great to have him against the Espeon. It's funny, I keep talking about this last Pokemon Gold playthrough I had. I used an Espeon in that team, too. Okay, Is Bug super effective against Dark? Bug is super effective against Dark. Why would anyone ever question that? Especially when they know Pokemon and enjoy Pokemon so much that they made a YouTube channel about their playthrough. Silly. That is a good note. Bug types are really good against both Psychic and Dark types. So, another item I wanted to discuss is, we mentioned it, or I mentioned it earlier, about the aesthetic of Ecruteak City. And I think it does fit in, or it typifies the entire Johto experience of how ancient Japanese it feels, like how quintessential Japanese it feels. And that obviously shines through a lot with the dance studio, with Ecruteak itself. But I do think that's part of the reason why I've always really had a soft spot for this generation, is because to me it does feel the most, it feels of the original games the most pointed. Like it feels like you are in Japan the entire time. And there's just something really special about that. You know, when you're a kid growing up in the West, you don't know that much about Japan. It's really cool to be able to feel like you experience it. Like there's a lot of wood flooring, you can tell. The detail, the paneling is all really cool. Okay. Oh, Gaston Matt Jameson. Wow, Matt Jameson quickly has become our strongest quote-unquote Pokemon, or the last in our party. So you might be wondering to yourself, why are we battling all these Kimono girls? There is a reason. It's not just because we want to add all the evolutions to our Pokedex. Ooh, electric versus electric. Alright, let's fire punch this. Good job, Holy Wayne. Oh, that's not great. I didn't realize Jolteon had such high special defense. Or maybe Flaffy doesn't have that high special attack. But anyway, we want to take on all of these Kimono girls because the gentleman in the crowd, who we omitted talking to, well, it was about time Holy Wayne missed an attack. Holy Wayne might be our most reliable attacker at this point. Oh, well, I mean, Nora Durst is our most reliable Pokemon. You know, speaking of, sure, let's split the experience. I'm not dealing with the accuracy losses. Actually, we might be. Ooh, I meant to click. Well, I meant to click dig, but instead I'll take rock throw. All right. So anyway, we want to defeat all of them because there's a man in the crowd who's going to give us a very important item for having defeated all of them. All right, let's move Holy Wayne down. Yeah, Nora Durst could use a level up. That's for sure. you can start to see how the HP stat for a pretty bulky Pokemon is now the weakest on our team. Okay, now he will give us HMO3 Surf. Probably the earliest you ever get Surf in a game. That you can get it before the 4th gym when you only have 3 badges. We are going to immediately teach that to our friend Patty Levin. I think we're gonna forget Water Gun. We won't be using Water Gun if we have Surf. Okay, and now Patty becomes a lot more viable. Alright, let's heal up real quick, and now that we heal up, we have one more spot we want to hit while we're in Ecruteak. If you can't tell, still, these are all, a lot of these towns are named after woods and colors still. You have Ecruteak, you have Mahogany will be coming up. They still keep with some themes. Oh, I forgot that we battle Bad Mark right here. Okay, well. Okay, you know, for a bad guy, he really just will not shut up. Alright, well, we have Haunter first. That's not ideal, but let's see if... He's not going to have any good ghost moves right now, so let's see what Surf can do. That probably was our Quick Claw working. I don't think it tells you when the Quick Claw works. Yeah, Lick isn't gonna do much, but let's use Surf. Let's hope, like in Gen 1, if we knock it out, it doesn't do anything to us. Because then we can switch and we can play the little fun game of switching. Okay, nice. Alright, so let's switch. Nora Durst, this is going to be on you. And now let's use Dig. Let's see what Dig can do. Oh. This is the one time you don't want to use Dig, because now we have to make it through. Well, okay. And Sonic Boom's gonna take us to 25. Come on, Nora, hit through this. We have to switch out. Let's put Holy Wayne in. Wow, Nora. The first time Nora gets walled. That is a surprising turn of events. But luckily the Steel type was added in here, and Holy Wayne is resistant to everything but Sonic Boom. Oh, ironic Nora levels up. No, we're not gonna learn self-destruct. Yeah, sorry, Nora. Quilava, yeah, we're gonna put Patty Levin in here. Patty Levin might be getting her first little bit of action here, or her strong action. I mean, she had that takedown of Metapod a few episodes ago, but that was... Okay, Patty. Well, hey, look, better than Water Gun. We'll take it. Oh, okay. Well, oh, thanks, Patty. All right. You know, why does it feel like our guys are just missing attacks more than than usual. I don't know. Maybe it's just that it feels that way, but it just feels strange to me. Okay, good job, Patty. Oh, and now we get confusion. All right. Let's forget Growl. And Zubat. No, let's keep Patty in. You know, I want to see Patty use confusion. Oh, okay. Okay. We are not going to see Patty use confusion. We're going to switch in Nora Durst. Probably could have done Holy Wayne, but let's see. You can tank a bite. Oh, actually, maybe not. Oh, Nora! Nora. I am sorry. Wow. I will take that as trainer mismanagement, as incompetence on my part. Alright, Holy Wayne, just needed you to hit through that. Should take it down. Wow, I am sorry, Nora. That is on me. Okay, well. See you later, City Mark. Could never catch a legendary anyway. Alright, let's go and heal real quick. Okay, and we are back from healing. One thing I wanted to say, oh, we can't use that. Well, we can, yeah, we need to use Brick Break. But one thing that I did want to say walking back through the Ecruteak City in order to heal and all, especially at night, is it really is. I think Ecruteak might be my favorite city in Johto, especially Ecruteak at night. It's really cool. I don't know. It's just there's something to me like magical, mystical about it. I'm sorry you all are listening to the battle music and the burn tower music, but I'll give some good playtime through to listen to the Ecruteak music too. So it wouldn't be a playthrough without me talking about, well, one, yeah, we gotta rearrange these guys. So it wouldn't be a playthrough without me talking about what some of these Pokemon areas do and why they're here. So we're right now in the Burned Tower. And these actually correspond, the Burned Tower and right next to it, the Tin Tower, correspond to two different locations in Japan itself. Do we actually not have... I don't think we have Rock Smash. Let me see. Alright, we need to get, in order to get through this, we would need to get Rock Smash right past Route 36. Right past the Sudowoodo. Okay, well, look. To be honest, we don't need to do that. Let's head down. Ooh, maybe I want to. Maybe I I don't want to fight this. That's going to be annoying. Okay, maybe we do go get Rock Smash. So let's head back to Route 36 and go get it. Oh yeah, let's head south. So this guy before used to just tell you, like, oh, look at Sudowoodo. Sudowoodo is blocking the way. Look at Sudowoodo. It sounded like Rick, like Pickle Rick. Like, I'm Sudowoodo. I'm blocking the way. Look at me. I'm Sudowoodo. All right, let's teach Rock Smash to just anyone who'll learn it. You know what, Kevin Garvey, you have not learned a good move in a while. We're gonna teach you Rock Smash. Holy Wayne knows enough. Okay. And it's a TM, so we can forget it soon. And now we can actually explore throughout the burn tower. So, sorry for that little detour there, folks. But so the burn tower is obviously a tower that has been burned down. It was formerly known in the game, you'll hear this, it was known as the Brass Tower. And it was used to be as big, quote unquote, as the Tin Tower right next to it. So here's the Tin Tower, supposedly the Tin Tower. And then all the way back here is the Burn Tower. Well, that's how you get to the Tin Tower. So when it was new, it was said to be it was supposed to be immense silvered color Pokemon was supposed to be who was in charge of the Burn Tower or the Brass Tower. And the Tin Tower is associated with a gold Pokemon. Now, funny enough, this does bear nearly a whole lot of similarities to real life. There are two towers in Japan that are the exact same way. Oh, fighting is weak. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, Kevin. Please just don't poison it. Okay, I'm going to continue this story after we heal. Okay, we are back, and we're going to use Kevin Garvey to smash that rock, and I think what we're also going to do is let's just put Noradurst up front. I mean, we're facing all fire and poison types. Let's not make this difficult on ourselves. Funny enough, I don't think I've ever been inside the Burn Tower in Pokemon Gold. I think this is the furthest I've ever gotten in Pokemon Gold. Not in Crystal or Heart Gold, but in Gold itself, which is pretty cool. So anyway, it was supposed to be the roost of an immense silvered colored Pokemon, the Burn Tower. And the reason why that is interesting is because in Japan, in Kyoto, it's the exact same story, but the opposite. So there are two towers. One has a gold bird and one has a silver bird on top of it, but the inverse ones burn. So in real life, the one with a gold bird on top of it is the one that burned. So that's a little interesting tidbit for you. In the Pokemon universe, the story is that centuries after it was built, apparently a heavy storm was supposed to have rolled in, and the tower was struck by lightning. And that's what caused the great fire that burned the tower. So at that point, both birds fled. However, because the gold tower, the Tin Tower, was unharmed, you still might be able to find that Pokemon in its tower, or associated with the tower. However, the silver Pokemon flew away and has not returned to the burned tower. One other interesting tidbit about these two towers is that there apparently were 3 Pokemon that died in the tower, in the fire. There were 3 nameless Pokemon that were said to have died. Now, there is some illusion. I have not seen anywhere that this has been confirmed. However, we will see in a little bit that there's there may be some Pokemon that we might be able to find in here beyond our typical Rattatas. And they are going to be the legendary dogs, they're called, or legendary beasts. And the legendary trio in this game correspond to the legendary trio from the last game, the legendary birds of Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. Okay, nice burn heal here. Let's drop down. Oh, we can't get up there without strength. Let's see if there's anywhere else we can get up to. But anyway, so the theory is that those Pokemon were all evolutions and that ended up passing away and became 3 legendary dogs of this game. Well, why is that? Well, so the 3 legendary dogs, and okay, so they're apparently called the legendary beasts. Okay, I will probably always refer to them as the legendary dogs because that's what they were always called. I mean, we're talking about a time where Game Freak and Nintendo never talked about these things. So people would call them the legendary birds or the legendary dogs, and Game Freak wouldn't confirm or deny any of that. So that's just what they were named, and then they were apparently renamed. Very similar to how everyone calls the first Pokemon you team up with, in our case Chikorita here, your starter Pokemon. And Game Freak just comes along one day and says, no, they're actually called your first partner Pokemon. Like, okay, that's fine. I'm not going to debate you on that. You call it what you want. But for 25 years, they were called starters or dogs or legendary birds, you know. Does it make sense? No, but that's what they were called. So, look, all I'm saying is that don't expect me. If I make any mistakes, please forgive me. In any event, the whole story behind the legendary dogs, beasts, is that people think that they were evolutions because the legendary beasts here, you should give me credit for that, is you have one who's an electric type, Raikou, one who is a fire type, Entei, and then one who's a water, like ice type in Suicune. And they were, always called the legendary dogs, and they correspond to the types that are the evolution types from the first generation. So, in Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon, it being electric, fire, and water. So that's just a lot of backstory into why people think that the unknown Pokemon that died and were resurrected as the legendary Pokemon were all evolutions. The other part that adds to that is you have the Kimono girls, who then have full teams of evolutions that we just battled. So, I think that I don't know whether it was intentional. Oh, Fire Breather Dick. Yeah, that's always a great time to battle him. Anyway, so that's the theory behind some of the Pokemon here. Alright, so one funny thing I should also mention is, because we faced off against our rival, is the rival's canonical name is technically Silver. I believe this is for a few reasons. The manga usually I think calls him Silver. And it also matches up with the original game, where you had Red is canonically the main character and Blue is the rival. Same thing here, where you have technically our character is Gold and then his rival is Silver. It gets complicated in the second generation though. I think everyone agrees that Blue is the name of the rival in the first generation rival, and Red is the name of the protagonist in the first generation game. And that's confirmed later on in this game. Real quick though, let's see these legendary beasts. Ooh, so now all three of them disappear. That's all you see. And now we can maybe find them in the wild somewhere. We'll see if we run into any of them. Maybe that's where our false swipe will come in handy. Anywho. So, this game confirms that the canonical names are Red and Blue for the first generation protagonist and the rival. It's never really confirmed that these two are Gold and Silver. It would make sense, but the wrinkle comes in when you reach Gen 3, in which case you have a male and female protagonist choice, and the male and female protagonist are actually characters in that game of Brendan and May. And that continues to be the case for a lot of generations coming up. I think until Gen 5, maybe? I don't know. I think Gen 5, you don't see your counterpart. But anyway, so it's never, I don't think, confirmed here. And also in the remakes, your character is called Ethan, the character of the Johto region. So, who knows? Alright, so we're about to take on an entirely ghost gym. And Ghost is an interesting type in this generation. You might remember that in the first generation games, there's only one ghost line. And now we have two. We actually have an additional ghost Pokemon. So we have so now we have the Misdreavus line. Morty, the gym leader here, doesn't use Misdreavus at all. So that's not very helpful. I think we are going to lead here with I think we're going to lead with Matt Jameson out front, just because he does have a Dark type move, and Dark was introduced to be super effective against Ghost. So let's just lead with him. Yeah, Kevin's not going to be able to do much. Let's lead with Matt. Let's see what Matt can do. This is an interesting gym. So you'll see there's a whole big black box that you can fall through, just like we were doing with the burn tower. I'll show you how you get through that, though. Alright, let's see what we can do with Pursuit. Yeah, this is what we call the super effective swindle, where you think a move is super effective, and it doesn't actually do as much as you think. So let's switch into Nora. Let's just switch between the Jameson family here. Alright, Spike doesn't work. Magnitude. Let's take a peek. Yeah, and let's go back to Matt here. Let's just keep ping-ponging between these two. Why not? Okay, Matt. Now that we got rid of the curse, we can continue to use ya. Scyther has a great back sprite here. This generation, okay, I still think front sprites, back sprites, I won't say that they peaked here, but they are really good in this generation. Really good. Yeah, let's keep using Matt. Like, Matt looks like a praying mantis here. It looks bulbous in its shoulders, it looks segmented. Like, Scyther looks like a bug, but it also looks cool as hell. Okay, Sage Ping, you're defeated. I know each one of these gym members very well for a reason I will get into soon. But you follow their eyesight, and you sort of make an intersection, an inverse intersection between these two trainers' eyesights, and you just follow up. It's a zigzag. These trainers will tell you that, but you know what's even easier is if you've stayed with me through this entire playthrough, is if I just tell you. It's the least I can do to thank my many, many adored fans. Okay. Ooh, that's gonna be hard. Oh, okay, well. Alright. We can get one pursuit off. Let's hope we get... Okay, great. That was a lot easier than I thought. So the reason I know so much about these trainers is because over Christmas this year, actually, I did a big playthrough of Pokemon Crystal Clear, which is a fan ROM hack of Pokemon Crystal. And I think I mentioned it before on this during this playthrough, but you can start in any city you want. You can start in Kanto or Johto. You can do, you know, really anything. And the Ecruteak Gym, one of the difficult things with that game is being able to train up your Pokemon, especially if you do a Nuzlocke like I have done before here. You know what, let's rearrange. Let's switch Kevin up. Let's put him up front. I think that we get a Mischievous out first here. But anyway, I used Morty's gym a lot for training because you can re-challenge the gym and the trainers here and whatnot. So when you play a ROM hack, like a fan ROM hack, ooh, that's gonna be difficult. Okay, well, let's switch to Nora. You usually have to play it on an emulator. So the way that I do it is I will, let's use Crystal as a good example. So I own the Crystal cartridge, so I can take that ROM from the Crystal cartridge. Oh, that's not good. If you're paralyzed, oh, Nightshade does the exact 22 damage of their level. Okay. So anyway, so you take the ROM and then you can edit it with the ROM hack. Well, no, they didn't level up. Yeah, Kevin didn't level up. And then you can just use that to play the ROM hack when you patch the ROM. However, in order to play it, you can't play that on or you don't usually play it on like a Game Boy cartridge or something, because you would need a cartridge of the game. It just doesn't really work that way, so you have to play it on an emulator, usually. And when you play it on an emulator, that means you can speed up your playthrough. And that's great for bulk training. So, okay, that annoys me. How can you paralyze... Oh, sorry guys. This is how I used to play as a kid. I'm sure this is not great content, but it was always so stretched out. Like, to me, this is what Pokemon looked like to me as a kid. And so it wasn't until later in life that I ended up switching it. I mean, I'm sure even this is more stretched out than it should be. Let's do Matt Jameson. Okay, let's see. But it looks bad, I'm sure, on YouTube and to me. But as a kid, on a Game Boy Advance screen, looked fine. Okay, we'll take it. Thanks for knocking yourself out. Yeah, let's put Kevin Garvey back in. Okay, so, wow, this is interesting. No one had a Mischievous. It's all Ghastly. Like, this is part of what is, in my opinion, really frustrating about... Probably the most frustrating part of the Johto games. Trust me, this has been covered plenty of times, so I'm not trying to be novel here. I'm not trying to come up with my own opinion. But like, you only had 3 Ghost-type Pokemon in the first game. You added another Ghost-type for this generation, and you have 5 trainers in this gym, and not a single one of them uses the new Pokemon you added. Like, that's to me where I sort of say, like, I find a tough time defending that decision. Well, anyway, all of that aside, why don't we go heal, and then we'll take on Morty. Okay, and we are back. Let's take on Morty. Yeah, he's pretty concerned with... Ooh, he really is concerned with these legends, huh? Alright, well, let's see. I think we can probably take him down. Alright, Ghastly. We're gonna lead with Holy Wayne. We're just gonna see... Okay, we'll take a Curse, because I think we can Thunder Punch through it. Okay, nice. Holy Wayne. Holy Wayne is a solid MVP so far. Or just solid contributor, I'd say. Haunter, yeah, we're gonna want to switch. Switch to Matt Jameson. I want to save Nora for Gengar. I think we can survive a Nightshade. Yeah. I forget if Morty has any like healing items, but let's get him to use those. Okay, so let's see. Good job, Matt. Yeah, we're gonna want to switch into ND here. NDMA. We are already pretty underleveled. Let's try magnitude and hope it goes well. Oh, well, that's not great. Do we have an item that can heal it? Confusion, paralysis, poison, super potion, attack. We do have an awakening. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, that would have been bad. Oh, I was just gonna say, don't do magnitude 5. Okay. Okay, let's guess. Well, Nora fits our typical team of it's gonna make it interesting, but... Okay, Nora, thank you. And now... Let's see. We have a Haunter. Yeah, let's keep Nora out. And let's use magnitude. No, let's use dig. Okay, we'll take that. Let's just take the damage. Awesome. Okay, and you know what? That is the... I guess Nora got half a win, but Nora has pretty much soloed the entire... Pretty much the entire first 4 badges here. So... And there you go, Fog badge. And also now we get Shadow Ball. That is going to be one of the stronger TMs we're going to get from a gym leader here. So let's see. I'm pretty sure Slowpoke can learn it. Yeah, Patty's the only one. Alright, so Patty's going to learn that. Yeah, sorry Patty, no more Tackle. We just forgot Tackle on like 3 guys in a row. Nora, yeah, Nora, Kevin, and now Patty. Okay, now comes decision time. Do we go left or do we go right? I think that decision will be... I think we're gonna hold that for one more episode. So thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, follow, subscribe, and tune in. Thank you.